Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering Disney. Netflix's Daredevil showrunner is calling out Marvel's Born Again reboot as an old Disney scam meant to reset contract terms. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. This is coming from Bounding Into Comics, but it is being covered across multiple media platforms. Deadline is covering it. It's definitely getting around, and I wouldn't be surprised if Disney is forced to kind of put out a response to this. Netflix's Daredevil showrunner is calling out Marvel's Born Again reboot as an old Disney scam meant to reset contract terms. When contract terms are reset, so when a show becomes the first season rather than the third season or the fourth season, the people that are part of the show get paid less. And that's what the dispute is all about. Disney is definitely not above doing different financial tricks to try to benefit the company. They're being sued by financiers right now. They've been accused of all kinds of misdeeds. This is just the latest story. First, you might ask, what is a showrunner? A showrunner is the top-level executive producer of a television series production who outranks other creative personnel, including episode directors, in contrast to feature films. Coming from Bounding Into Comics, though Daredevil himself may be unable to see, the showrunner of his former Netflix series, DeKnight, recently took to opening audiences' eyes to the scam reasons behind Disney's upcoming Daredevil Born Again reboot. The conversation, which would eventually draw forth DeKnight's frustrations with the House of Mouse, first began on September 17th, courtesy of Twitter user and claimed International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees member at TNYC, retweeting TV Line's announcement that HBO's Los Angeles Lakers bio-series Winning Time has been canceled after 2 seasons. At TNYC lamented, quote, "Do I have to post the thread again about how our contracts base wages and raises and conditions with vacation and holiday pay on arbitrary seasons, and that canceling shows before season 3, rebooting shows, and all this nonsense is about undercutting workers." Quote, "I worked on all of the Marvel Netflix shows, which were all canceled in season 2 or 3, he recalled. Our contracts only give us full vacation pay, like 36 cents per hour worked or something like that, on season 3 shows. 4 years of work, I never got a raise or vacation pay, like $20,000. Quote, "And not only did they cancel Daredevil once crew got a full raise and holiday and vacation pay, Disney Plus's reboot is back to season 1 contract terms. It's an effing scam," the film grip concluded. "I wonder if @StephenDeKnight knows that." Taking note of his being directly tagged in the tweet, DeKnight replied to @NYC's question by confirming he does. Quote, "It's an old Disney scam where they slightly rename a series to reset contract terms back to the first season," the star of Spartacus and Netflix Jupiter's Legacy showrunner asserted. "Needs to be addressed by all the guilds and unions and crushed. I don't know why they didn't just have this as part of their contracts. If this is such a big issue, this absolutely seems like something the union should have negotiated." Unsurprisingly, DeKnight's comments drew headlines from various entertainment news outlets. In turn, the showrunner would offer clarification that the target of his resentment was neither of Daredevil and Daredevil Born Again lead actors Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, but solely Disney's corporate greed. Retweeting the direct, speedy coverage of his anti-Disney criticism, DeKnight explained, "To be clear, I can't wait to see Charlie Cox and the amazing Vincent D'Onofrio reprise their iconic roles. But to claim this is a complete reboot and you don't have to pay the original creatives is some corporate shenanigans, to say the least." Notably, this is not the first time DeKnight has publicly taken issue with Disney's apparent shortchanging of their television crews. Responding to Culture Crave's July 13th Twitter coverage of She-Hulk attorney-at-law writer Cody Ziegler's meager residual payments for his work on the show, DeKnight informed his own followers, quote, "So speaking of Daredevil as showrunner of season 1, part of my deal includes a little sliver of the back end. Never expected to see any on Netflix. But then Marvel Disney pulled it and it ended up on Disney Plus. Now I'm part of an audit to try to get the money they owe me and others." He's talking about a financial audit that usually these contracts give you the option for, although you do have to pay for them, so you can't just snap your fingers and have an audit. Quote, "And here's the thing about auditing to get what's owed to you. He further detailed, "You have to pay for it, divided up among the back-end participants. The last time I had to do this, it cost me alone $17,000 and took over 2 years." Concluding his thoughts, DeKnight observed, quote, "Entertainment corporations will do anything to keep from paying you what you're contractually owed. For right now, because of the Hollywood Guild strikes, the Disney Plus Daredevil Born Again series is delayed indefinitely." And this isn't the first time Disney has done this kind of thing, rebooting the series to save a little money. Disney Channel childhood actor Joey Bragg from Liv and Maddie recently addressed a similar situation to what DeKnight has brought up. On the Cash Cuties pod, he explained that the company didn't have to pay 100% of the minimum wage to actors during the first 3 seasons. In the 4th season, Disney rebooted the series to Liv and Maddie, Callie style, utilizing this loophole to pay its talent less money. Other Disney shows like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Hannah Montana rebranded their 4th seasons, becoming The Sweet Life on Deck and Hannah Montana Forever, respectively. Another interesting example is Bunked, a successful Disney Channel series that was initially a spin-off of Jessie following its 4th and final season. So what is the problem with rebooting Daredevil for the MCU? Major television companies are no strangers to working around rules and exposing new ways to save themselves money and potentially avoid paying their workers. The most shocking thing about the Disney reboot, if it is a reboot, is that they plan to do Daredevil Born Again as an 18-episode run, which is pretty amazing. It's a lot of episodes. It would be very different from the shorter runs that their other series typically do. Additionally, it's not like they don't spend a lot of money on Disney Plus shows, so it's really curious as to why they'd be spending so much money producing Daredevil when their Netflix budget was much less money than this. The Netflix budget was originally considered high when Marvel made a deal with Netflix, this is going back to 2014, for the original Daredevil series to spend $200 million making 60 Marvel shows. So the budget for Daredevil back in the day when they made the original first season of Daredevil was $3 million an episode, approximately. Now it's estimated to be as much as $25 million an episode. Is that legitimately a reboot? It's obviously going to be a very different show when they're spending that kind of money. I have no idea because they didn't cite for us exactly what the financial difference is to the creators. Would the creators have been getting substantially more money if they hadn't rebooted as Daredevil Born Again? Do they have some other legitimate reason for calling it Daredevil Born Again? We know they're also not bringing back Foggy Nelson. They're not bringing back Karen Page. It will be a different kind of show, but is it legitimate to call it a reboot? Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Do you think Disney would pull a trick like this to try to save some money? Or do you think Disney's a little bit more honest than that and maybe they have a legitimate reason for it? I definitely have my doubts when it comes to Disney. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.